Oh, gotcha.
Volunteer was selected by administration.
Sure.
All right, it's 6 o'clock. Let's call our meeting to order.
Chris Bell is absent. Roger?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
Caitlin?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Renee?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
6 present, 1 absent.
Next, I need an approval and an adoption of the agenda.
I'll make that. Yeah.
Tammy made the motion.
Yeah. That's for me.
Did you second?
Yeah.
Roger second.
Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Roger Bridgman to approve and adopt the agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next up, we are going to go over the board norms for the month of May. We will expect board members to make a commitment, and we will work together as a board that values a consensus rather than a majority rule. Now, if you will all stand for the pledge of
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is board recognition.
All right. Thank you all for being here and joining us this evening. I know that as soon as this is done, a lot of you peel out of here, so thank you for coming, at least for this portion tonight. This is probably it is the most favorite part of being on the board, is being able to recognize our faculty, our staff, our students, because ultimately that's what we're here for. So I enjoy this part of it a lot because of that, and being able to give back to those that give so much every day to our district. So we're going to start off with the first one tonight, and that is to Miss Allison Heads, which was our student representative to the board for the 25-26 school year. We started this several years back, and it's probably one of the most amazing and best things we've ever done is put one of our students on the board that can give updates and be a part of knowing how this operation goes, and then knowing and seeing that side of it as well. And she has been a great asset this year. She's done a wonderful job with the reports and giving out feedback to all of us about what's going on in the district. So we're really going to miss her, but we want to give her a plaque tonight that says, "Thank you for your outstanding leadership and dedication to our students, staff, and district." Allison Head, example within this picture. Hold on.
It's hard to read the plastic.
No, it's the sticker that says "Open here." Allison leads by example with the dedication to service, enthusiasm, and caring personality, not just for our campus, but for our community. And if you have seen her at school at all, you know that is very true. And she was very committed and active in our building at the high school. And again, we thank you for your time, for your service that you've been on the board with us this year. You are absolutely amazing, young lady. You want to get them all at the same time, or? Well, if we're going to take a picture, let's take that one.
Yeah, we'll do it individual. We just don't have a backdrop.
Sorry.
Yeah, what happened to the backdrop?
Mm.
To the high school first.
It flew off the back of the thing, remember? We don't know where it went. It may be in Sullivan right now. All right.
Oh.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Do great things. Do great things. You're welcome. Here's your box in case you have to get there. All right.
stickers. She likes stickers.
It just says open. We're not gonna do that. All right. Next, we have some people that are going to be enjoying some beach time probably, and some beverages, and I don't know what else they're going to be doing, but they're actually retiring and leaving our district. And there's been several years when you look across these plaques tonight of how many years that they've been done in education. So the first one I have for you, Crawford County R2 School District honors Vicki Gorsuch, 20 years of service, 2006 to 2026. By word and deed, your presence have enriched the lives of students and served as an example for all. And as you know, she was our special education director. And if you have not dealt with that world, that is a whole different world, and adds a whole different aspect to education. And those of you that are bus drivers, those of you that are in the buildings, you know that is true. And you have to have a love and passion to continue to do that, and especially for 20 years. So Vicki, thank you very much for your service to our district. You're very welcome. Thank you for your service.
Zoom in.
So those,
Only we can make funny faces.
quick celebration with Miss Gorsuch, but at her retirement party, many good stories were shared with her, meeting the needs of kids over the years that people will never know about.
Thank you for bringing Miss Earnhardt to the party.
Yeah, and that's the thing when you have retirees that have put in that much time and all that energy and effort into your district. And not only do you touch the kids' lives, but you also build relationships and you touch the faculty and staff's life. And so that is really cool when you do get to that point of retirement, or you get to that time where you can leave, you know, and be able to hear those stories and the things that have happened from when you started, even some of you that are here, when you started education to now, the difference that it is. So that's really interesting and nice to see. I don't think Ms. Sellers is here, is she?
She's not.
Okay.
She wasn't sure if she'd be able to.
The next one is for Ms. Sellers, and she has done 19 years of service from 2007 to 2026. So we appreciate her time, energies, and efforts that she's given to our district. All right. And this last one, last but not least. To an amazing man. Absolutely did a wonderful job for us as the bus supervisor. Not only that, he again has touched a lot of lives, yours, mine, kids, through the years that he's been here. So if some of you are bus drivers, you know exactly, you cannot thank them enough. And that is one thing that when they take us on trips or do anything for me and my kids, I always make my kids tell them, and I don't even have to, it's just become ritual for them to say thank you for getting us there, and thank you for bringing us back. They even made a little song that they sing to them once we get back to the high school. So that's important, because that's a tough job. Not only are you, if you're driving your own car by yourself, you can understand that. But when you have a whole group of 30, 40 kids behind you that you're responsible for too, that's a lot of responsibility. And then you're responsible for the whole fleet of those. And I know I've heard great things from Dr. Siebert about Mr. Wendell and his time over there at the bus shed. And we can never pay him enough for what he's done. So thank you so much for your time, your energies, for your efforts, and all that you've done for us. And he has 15 years of service from 2011 to 2026. You get to be free. You put on this lift right off your shoulders, and you put it on her.
But I wasn't ready to retire.
Of course not. You're a workaholic. Thank you so much.
And I think I've shared this story with some, but Mr. Wendell is a gentleman who would, just like any father, stay up until 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30, midnight, waiting for that last bus radio to come in when kids were on a field trip. And he told me one day after he heard that, then he could roll over and go to sleep. But until he heard that, he stayed awake. So, Mr. Wendell, thank you. It's a great day to be at CCR too, sir.
If anybody wants to step out right now, you're more than welcome to. We'll be there.
Didn't take him long. Retirement. I'm out. Peace out.
Thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you, ladies, for coming. Thanks for all you do.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Amazing little bus drivers right there.
Not that I tried to kick them out of here. Okay, let's move on. Citizen participation. We do not have anyone signed up tonight, so we'll move to consent agenda Next, we do need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Wendell second.
Motion by Caitlin May, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Now let's move into the financial statement and May bills. There's a couple of different check runs in your packet, as well as a financial report. Definitely, if you have a question, let's bring it up now. No questions, we do need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Adam Carnell, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve the financial statement and action on the May bills as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Abstain.
I abstain.
Opposed? 4 yes, 1 absent, 2 abstain.
Okay, thank you. Let's move into administrative reports. First up, board and committee reports. I don't believe there's been any committees that have met recently. So we can move into principal report. Let's start at elementary.
We got through another year. I've survived 2 years here. I'm loving it. We had lots going on. I just was kind of joking before the board meeting started. If you've looked through our packet, it's pretty thick this time. But I definitely feel like, especially at the elementary level, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I could not snap pictures fast enough those last 3 weeks of school. We had a lot of amazing things going on in our building. So rolling into summer school, it'll be here before we know it. We've got roughly, don't quote me on it, but roughly about 160 kids enrolled. And so we're looking forward to that. And we have Fun Fridays that we started last year that we're going to continue on with summer school. So while we don't have a summer or school theme for the whole month of June, each Friday we do something fun that goes along with the theme. And so, like, just an example of one, we do a camping theme where we have groups of students in each grade level that come down to our title hallway. We turn all the lights off and we use tablecloths to make them look like tents. They get a lantern. Our librarian has then went through all of her book inventory and any books she's getting rid of. Kids can read those books. They get to take books home. And then we shift them down to the cafeteria where they get to make s'mores. So lots of fun stuff going for summer school too.
Congrats on the PBIS award.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
very
Yes,
proud.
that was definitely a team effort.
Yeah.
Definitely a team effort. But
great.
we're pretty proud of that. We've come a long way. So
Should be.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mrs. Shoemaker is not here this evening. And her rest of her time is pretty limited with us. So
She's enjoying pre-retirement.
She is. She is enjoying that already. Let's move into high school report.
Nothing too much to add from what was in my report of it. You know, it was a lot busier 2 months than I anticipated. But I enjoyed every minute of it. I think the kids enjoyed doing things to me. I didn't find out till the other day. My wife starts busting up laughing at my license plate cover, and somebody, I'm not sure who yet, put a princess license plate cover on top.
It's fantastic.
Sparkly with
Yeah,
the
it's
tear.
sparkly.
You should have drove that in the parade.
But it was a great last 2 months of the year, and just trying to recover from that and get ready for next year.
We had another successful graduation, outside
Nice.
graduation.
No way.
And I just wanted to give you all the accolades for your speech. I think that you had a very good speech for not only our graduates, but for their families and our community here. I appreciate that.
I also think you did an excellent job with the baccalaureate too. Some good words you put out there. So, I think it resonated with some of the kids, so appreciate that.
Okay. Special education.
Everything's going wonderful. Couple more weeks, last time I get to say that. And we have all of our special ed positions filled. Yes.
Nice.
That's a
Big
big deal.
deal.
How do you do?
After tonight, I guess. Yeah. I should say that. You'll get them tonight.
Let's move into student representative report.
I mean, I think all the students would agree that we had a pretty
smooth year, and Mr. Klutz did a lot. He did help a lot, and I think we could all thank him for helping the year run so smooth. And especially, yeah, those 2 months did get pretty busy, and then finals, but now we get the summer to relax, so it's definitely me. And we have our new student representative for next year, Kendra Humphrey here.
Hi.
Yeah, pretty good.
Perfect. I'm sure she has left you, she will leave you lots of notes. Well, welcome. Welcome to our meetings. Okay, any questions for the student report? Nope. Assistant superintendent report.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight one thing in my report. So I worked with our district nurses on Project Adam and the MEMSA grant to get some new AEDs in our buildings, to get some extra ones, and then the ones we have replaced and updated. And part of that involved creating a district-wide plan and then building level protocol. And on May 18th, we had a representative from Project Adam come in, and we did cardiac emergency response drills with a mannequin and AED with the team in each building. So each building in our district is now Project Adam certified. And so she shared with us that there's not very many schools in our state that have that level. So
Perfect.
it was nice.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Thank you. Superintendent report.
As Ms. Palmer alluded to, the elementary received recognition for Tier 1 Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports from the Regional Professional Development Center out of Rolla, which is great to see that. And then middle school received a gold status as well for, I think this is the 17th year. I believe we counted all the plaques on the wall there, which is awesome. They've applied for the Mary Richter Award. And then our high school's also done a nice job this year getting the Wildcat tracks in play, which has a very similar universal support for that. So it's really cool seeing that K-12 now moving that direction. And then the other thing I'm just excited about, all of our capital project stuff that we have before us to get approved and kicked off. And it's exciting. A lot of hours have gone into this over the last 2 years to get here.
Let's move into unfinished business and start with the 25-26 budget update.
Yep, so this year we're still on track there. Current expenditures year to date, 84.97%. And then our revenues year to date are 0.8%. So everything's on track with no major adjustments for this year.
All right, now let's get a 26-27 budget update.
Yep. And so in your packet's a draft of the budget for next year. And one of the things, there's a legislative session Zoom tomorrow to go over what passed, what didn't pass, and then financial impacts to the district. So have been communicating most of the year that our state is $2 billion. They need to remove out of their budget, so they were working to remove $1 billion this year, $1 billion next year. But with that, public ed's one of the largest line items in the budget, and so there's a lot of cuts coming. So several $1 million, I think $345 million was the last I heard that the public ed was short. So I have an update, more information tomorrow, but I'll have that ready for the June budget approval. But I've just been conservative with the figures and working there, but we're in a good place. Projecting next year to end about a 65% reserve roughly. So that could change depending on what I get tomorrow, but I don't foresee any major surprises coming out of the information tomorrow.
All right, any questions for the 26-27 budget update? Okay. Let's talk about approving the interest-bearing account for the bond money. We did receive some bids back. We went out to bid for interest-bearing accounts. Those bids are located in your packet. We received 3 back. There is a recommendation in your
we got 3 bids, one from People's Bank in Cuba, one from Sullivan Bank in Cuba, and then one from First State Community Bank in Sullivan. And so just looking at the terms, the recommendation would be People's Bank have the best terms offered. But as the board, you're welcome to choose whom you would like, and that would be for the bond money to go into.
I make that motion to go with the People's Bank.
Second.
It was Roger, yes.
Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve People's Bank for the interest-bearing account for bond money. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay. Hearing beeps behind me. Let's move into capital projects. Mr. Matt Nye. We're at, would you like a chair to sit in so you don't have to stand there awkwardly?
Oh, whichever. No, like, right.
Yeah. Adam's
I can do
this chair.
either way. No, thank you. You're welcome. All right. Well, first off, I know I was here maybe back in March at the board meeting right before the bonds. Just a reminder who I am. I'm Matt Nye with Navigate Building Solutions. So we were hired to act as your owner's representative for implementing all the bond project funds and kind of this sorting through all of the scopes. Initially, we had developed that facility maintenance plan that had a list of, I think, 24, 25 projects, like different scopes. So we pared those down into what we're calling like 6 different bid packages. And what we've done since the bond passed is just really dive in and just start tackling what it's going to take to start initiating those projects. So that's what the idea is here for tonight. And so I'll take us through. We have a slideshow, but also it corresponds to a lot of the information I think that was in your board packet with a lot of the actual proposals and some of the qualifications that we received from design professionals. So, all right. So it's up there. I also have it on my screen. I'm not sure who's sharing there.
I'm sharing mine too.
You are?
You just tell me when you want me to scroll.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I could also cast if you'd like, but, yeah, so we'll get right into it. Design, so bid package 1, like I said, we tried to break up those 24 projects into like 6 different bid packages. So this bid package 1 accounts for, I think it's 8 to 10 different scopes that we would require a design professional. So, you know, somebody that has a professional license, engineering firms, as well to help us develop those plans that we can put out to bid. So this initiated an RFQ, request for qualifications, out to design professionals. We received those responses on May 14th. We did receive 5 total responses of interested firms. Of that, we decided to interview 3 of those based on those qualifications. That was Insight Design Services, Bond Architects, and Archer Elgin. And so with that kind of summarizes that. I have a board memo as a part of your packet. I believe that was this document. Basically, kind of going through that as well, and just who we felt like as a group doing the interviews, who we felt like was the best qualified, knew the best about the project, had the previous experience, and I believe the board memo states that we would recommend Bond Architects as that most qualified architect. So then it just kind of leaves it up to you guys to ask any questions and have a motion for who to award to.
Correct. Yes, so the first one is, this is just for the design firm, basically. Where we're at right now is pending 1. There's a lot of things under So, just want to go through this.
Yeah.
Just
we're
one by
probably just-
one, basically,
yeah.
that's how I think as well.
Probably easiest.
So based on the design-related project, does anyone have questions about the firms that were interviewed? Okay, so the recommendation is for Bond Architects to be the design firm for the capital projects.
So what stood out with Bond Architects that we went that recommendation?
So
Yeah,
there-
I can,
I-
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think on one of them that we had with the IDS, they focused more on classroom designs, and that's not really our major focus. Ours was more of the HVAC and things like that. So it's almost like they didn't do the research with that, and if I overstep, I sorry for it.
We have no classroom designs, and that's what
Yeah,
they kept
so-
talking about.
And I felt that they didn't quite research our specific needs
What
that
our
we
needs
needed.
were.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so that was, that already was like, oh, well, no, I was not of that one. And that was mine on the IDS.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't,
Fair enough.
on the other two,
Yeah.
on the Archer design, if somebody else wants to.
Yeah. So Bond Architects work specifically with K-12 schools to vet all that out and do the architectural designs. Archer Elegant, so they're in general a design firm. They don't specifically work just for schools or do that. What stood out with Bond, they went through our projects and pulled them out already and had multiple layouts and looks and uses. So just they were the most professional and engaged with our projects. So just as a firm, to me, that made me more comfortable. We also utilized them for the renderings for the high school. The front there, those were the artworks, and they were very professional to work with. So that's anything else they had with Bond?
Yeah, no, I'd say, I mean, they definitely came the most prepared for it. I mean, they did the research. They had one of their consultants there, and he spoke specifically about mechanical, electrical.
Yeah.
And that was one of our biggest needs here, is getting some of those HVAC
Mhm.
systems replaced. And I think that just having that little extra time up front, you could tell they were
Maybe the most vested.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. And a wealth of knowledge of contractors too. I
Yeah.
think that they.
And they're also, they're working with Steelville
Steelville.
already. They've already gotten that project started just down the street, so kind of have
Mhm.
a local presence as well. Sure.
Good question. Okay. Does anyone want to make a motion to approve Bond Architects as the design firm?
I make a motion to approve Bond Architects as the design.
second that.
Motion by Renee White, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve Bond Architects Incorporated as the design firm for capital projects. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next up, we're going to talk about bid package number 2.
Yeah, so bid package 2 involves the demolition of both the original administration building and the maintenance building that's on campus here. And the initial, what we need to tackle initially is to really vet out what kind of hazardous materials are in those facilities. We know there are some in there, and it's been reported, but we really need to bring in a professional to finalize, capturing all of that so that we can put that into a package that the contractor can bid from. So this represents just that initial survey, so they would come out, do whatever testing they would need to do just to verify and confirm, what materials are in those spaces. That also includes that underground storage tank, which actually we have 2 of those storage tanks. So they would identify all that and then what the proper disposal would be. And once we have that information, then we can put that out to a abatement bid package to get the abatement part finished before we go to, and then the next step would be to do a demo package to demo the buildings once they're fully abated. So this is that first step to
Survey
get
part
things
of it.
done, just to get the survey done. It's $5,518. That was one of these proposals. in your packet too from Wellington, and we've done work with this company. They're very reputable, and could knock it out. I think he said he would have maybe a day or two to get it done once he gets it scheduled. So.
So there is a recommendation to accept the proposal from Wellington Environmental for the asbestos demolition surveying as presented.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Adam Carnell, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve the proposal from Wellington Environmental for asbestos demolition surveying as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay. The next one we need to talk about is bid package number 4, the athletic field lighting.
Yeah, so field lighting, probably one of the more like immediate needs to try to get this work going before the fall and before football season and softball season. So the idea was the way to really get that out the door quickly would be hire a vendor that you can get through a cooperative purchasing agreement. If you're not too familiar with cooperatives, we can kind of go through that, like TIPS or Ed Plus is a cooperative. Sourcewell, I think, is one of the vendors here. So what we did is we met on site with that vendor. We actually, 2 vendors came and looked at the project, both at our lighting vendors and through cooperatives. They also were out here with our local Cuba, City of Cuba utility and their electrical department. So we really kind of walked through, vetted exactly what it would take to demo all the lights, bring the services back to a primary pole, and then they could take it from there and power all the brand new lights. So that's the proposals that you have in your packet, and I kind of have a summary page of those proposals that kind of there it is. So it gives you an idea. A very large spread. I was kind of surprised how big a spread it was. Both were under our initial budget, and under
We were
that.
also very surprised at this, like, the very big spread.
Yeah, and when we first received tech lines, it was like, okay, well, that's within their original budget is what we had kind of used to put into the packet originally. But then when we received Reinhold, it's like, oh, wow, did they miss something? After talking to both of them, even though Techline is that lower, pretty confident that they have included all the electrical service. I mean, they're using different electrical contractors, so maybe that's where some of the the differences were. Yeah, but so this reflects football field, baseball, softball. There was an alternate to have them dispose of the old poles. I think for now we just told them, hey, take them down, set them in a space that the district feels like we could utilize them from there to either salvage or have somebody locally can come and pick them up or take lights off of them. But this would just be an alternate number to have them just haul away altogether. And then obviously there's a performance and payment bond that would come along with it.
So it's about $238,000 difference between the two.
It's a lot.
And so Reinhold with the Musco's way out of what was originally budgeted. Techline, we met with them, very confident that they could get everything completed correctly. I do have that $34,000 haul off and disposal of poles, but we can surplus that. So as a board, if you'd like to make a motion to go with Techline and remove the $34,000 removal, we could do that, and it'll come in lower, which will help. We've got another project in here. We could actually take some savings from that, put it towards another project, which will be spoken about on the next one.
This might be a crazy question, but didn't we talk about lights in the parking lot? And at one time?
Yes,
Is that gonna
we
be
do have that as a separate.
It's a
Okay,
separate.
separate.
I think we,
Okay.
yeah, because it was like, there were some building lights, and
Yeah.
then replacing a pole
Yes.
light.
Okay.
And we're like, well, let's just throw that in with the design
Gotcha.
portion, because they'll trace that back to a panel
Okay.
inside.
Are
the
they
building.
guaranteed these will be in before football and softball
So,
season?
yeah, both of them said they, you know, with
August
approval
1st was
today,
the deadline.
yeah, they
Is
said
there
they
any
can
like
get them
liquidated
done.
damages clauses in there? Get
We
it done.
yeah, we definitely can put that in there. Either one of them said, you know, both their installers, you know, thought it would be no problem. They can get the poles in time and the lights, in time. And we told them, you know, we're focusing, the priority would be football, move to softball.
Yep.
And then what baseball can happen essentially whenever you're done with both of those areas. And then they just roll into those.
It looks like Techline's got like 70% more light
Lights.
fixtures.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
difference? Why is there such a large disparity?
It's just each individual light has its own different, you know, wattage. So if you look at their maps and it has the foot candles, you'll see they're almost like identical. It's just Techline has more lights on their poles, whereas Musco has a, you know, bigger, more powerful light. But they're both going to give you the same foot candle on the field itself.
One of the nice things too with the new lighting, we'll be able to minimize some of those poles. So they'll take them down, like softball has 6, we'll end up with 4. And then even some of the overhead wires, we're gonna have them run under the driveways and parking lots, so we get rid of some of the overhead wires. As we walk campus, there's a lot of poles and
Yes.
wires everywhere, so we're trying to, with the bond pass, do it right the first time, make everything clean and nice, and put a lot of thought into everything we're doing here, so.
Yeah, what really makes me feel confident is we actually have the utility guy out there
Here,
while we
yeah.
walk with both of them, so it's like
Yeah.
very clear, like, okay, this is what we need to do, and, you know, they're gonna also help do their own part of the work, which is relocate the meter on one of, you know, some of the poles, like baseball and softball have to relocate their meter box. But we'll coordinate that with the city.
There you go.
Does Techline have an option, like for like an extended warranty? Because that is a big difference between the two companies.
Yeah, glad you mentioned that. The major difference is their warranty, and they both have, you know, full labor and material warranties, but Techline is 10 years, Musco is 25. I don't know the answer to that
Okay.
off the bat, but I can definitely ask like what that would be to extend it.
Okay.
That's a good question. I don't think I've
So
run
after
into
the 10 years, who's gonna change the light bulb?
You.
that.
Because we don't have
Hey.
anything in the city to,
No, they're gonna be shorter now.
oh, they'll be shorter?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
not gonna be like
Yeah.
extreme.
Yeah, we can get you a ladder, Adam. You can go in there.
Just
I'll
scale
spot
it.
you. I gotta get all
Just
the
scale
height
it,
stuff
Adam.
out. I'll
Just
spot you.
scale it up the pole.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions, any additional questions about lights? Does anyone want to make a recommendation for Techline?
I'll make a motion to accept Techline's bid.
A second.
With taking the 34 out.
We're taking the 34,000
Yeah.
out for the old poles.
Did you second? Okay.
So we're removing the $34,000
Yeah.
removal fee.
The haul off and dispose of the posts.
Okay. Motion by Adam Carnell, seconded by Tammy Palmer to approve a cooperative purchase agreement with Techline Sport Lighting as presented and remove the $34,000 removal fee. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
All right, now let's talk about bid package number 5, playground surfacing and fencing.
Yeah, so similar purchasing strategy here with cooperative. That way we can really get them in here. It's, you know, replacing the surfacing at the elementary school playground. It also has an option for installing new swing sets that the district is going to provide. And then we also had them provide a proposal for extending that fence, like 370 linear feet or so, But to get another competitive bid, we asked a local contractor to also provide a bid on just the fence part. And that's through all type fence. And as you can see, their proposal was, quite a bit less than the Land Design, who I think it's just because Land Design would sub that out anyway, so they got a number from another contractor. They don't do the fencing themselves. So I think, the all type seems to make sense. They're local, and they actually, I think we originally planned a 3-foot double gate fence, and they said they could provide a 12-foot to allow vehicle traffic in and out for no additional cost than the 3-foot. So kind of have two things. We've got the all-type fence quote for $11,311, and then the Land Design provided two options for the surfacing. One is just replacing it with the engineered wood fiber mulch, and then an add alternate to make it artificial turf. And then also, obviously, an add alternate too for installing the swing sets.
I have a question. I know there's been some drainage issues, so no matter what you put down, when you build it below grade, it's gonna hold water kind of thing. Do you know if they're doing any type of under drain?
So they do have an under drain system and as a part of this.
Okay, the 4-inch?
So
Okay.
what I would, and I know we talked the other night, so what I would like to do, because we don't necessarily know, I probably want to walk with your facilities people to know where that connection into.
Right, where that
If
drain
there's
comes out.
if there's a backup at some point, we probably need to look at jetting that line out to.
Rather than in
let
that
it
swell
flow.
that's across the street under the road there, to that swell that they have.
That's where, yeah, and
Yeah.
if it's a grading issue, or maybe the pipe size is inadequate, we need to look at that. I think that's more than what, Land Design's gonna do their under drain system under the, pad of the parking, or of the playground. But if there's something downstream that we need to address,
Okay.
I would probably recommend we get the civil engineer when he's on board, for the sanitary line. We'd probably have him help look at that and just see, hey, is there anything we can do with some of these
Because
grades?
I just hate
or
for us to
some-
get a new surface and it still holds water and the kids
Yeah.
still can't go out there and play, as soon as you probably want them to. so.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I think the night we had the.
Yes, yes, uh-huh.
The interviews, we could see there's definitely a lot more.
And then when we left, did you see it when we left the meeting
Yeah.
that we had the torrential downpour, so.
And did you just discuss the additional 2 inches maybe underneath that turf?
Oh, yeah, they did
Because we
bring up.
did follow up.
Okay.
Mr. and I did, so it potentially could be 2 additional instead of 4. Could be 2 inches with rock.
So it could
That
be
would
a
hold little bit
6-inch
more,
instead of a
yeah,
4-inch, okay.
drain, but,
I
Yeah,
just
just
want
to-
to see daylight with a 4-inch
yeah,
drain.
it'd
Fine
probably be more of
daylight.
like a drain out and then pop-ups out in a grass field, so it wouldn't, I don't know that we can hit daylight. But like I said, civil engineer can go
Okay.
and look at it, because it's, like I said, it's very flat, and it's pond when it rains, so.
Well, that-
Yeah, so, yeah.
But, yeah, I think initially, we definitely want to look at, is there something clogging the drain that's out there? And if we can try to address that, then we can look at, hey, is there something we can do with some of the grading, or maybe even putting in some other area drains in the area to
Yes,
just help
Perfect.
collect it,
Okay.
and collect the water and remove
yeah,
it.
just as long as
So
we're
is-
aware.
Is this where the rock is
Mhm.
currently?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they'll still have the little grass area between that
Oh,
and the
they'll have a
building?
large grass area. With that
Okay.
fencing, we're gonna bump
Yeah.
out almost to the softball field,
Okay,
so it'll just go straight south.
okay.
It'll be a big area, but,
Much bigger.
one of the things they talked about, the engineered hardwood, basically kind of mulch, clean mulch versus turf. As a former elementary principal, I would have loved to have a turf playground, so. So it was done raining, kids could go out, they can play. It's probably a lot more, allows kids to access the equipment better if they have any kind of disabilities, be able to walk over to it.
Absolutely true.
The timing of it, we had money donated by Eastern Star for the swing set, so I've got that purchased, but it's the timing too, to get that swing set in the playground. Miss Green and I walked it off, and there's plenty of room over there to get that swing set in, and to get all the pea gravel out, and then the turf's in there. The turf should be about a 10 to 12 year surface to work properly. I'm talking with Land Design, so I'm comfortable recommending the turf. It is a little bit of a upcharge, but we've saved some money on the lighting, and we're in a place to kind
What did we budget for the project?
so it was about 230.
Yeah, we were, yeah,
For that 286, we can take off the installation of the fence,
Yeah, some of that'll go
Yeah, because that
down.
agree all the time.
Yeah.
so we'll take about 14,000 off of that.
Mhm. Then we saved a little on the lights with the surplus.
Okay.
So first will be,
So,
to approve, the land design.
I'll make that
But-
motion with turf. Yes.
I'll second. An installation of swing set as presented.
Absolutely. Swing set, that's my favorite.
We went with the tan seat, so there's no hot rear ends.
Good idea.
Yeah, those used to burn you.
So
They'd squeeze your head.
Uh-huh.
we
Well,
want
as
to
you go like, you got a little bigger, you're.
approve
Design.
land design with the alternate for turf system.
We didn't care, we still got it. And once we go, it's spin around, hang upside down, remember that?
Move to approve cooperative purchasing agreement for land design. Yep, for land design with alternate for turf system for replacement of elementary school playground.
Motion by Roger Bridgman, seconded by Tammy Palmer, to approve a cooperative purchase agreement for land design with the alternate for turf system for replacement of the elementary school play resurfacing and installation of a swing set as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, perfect. Now we need to approve the proposal from All Type Fencing.
I'll make a motion to accept the
Second.
proposal from all sides.
Motion by Renee White, seconded by Adam Carnell, to approve the proposal from All Type Fence for the extended fence at the elementary school playground as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, next up is the AHERA inspection
I hear it.
documentation.
So this is something, obviously, until I got into this business, never knew it existed, but it's essentially that Asbestos Hazard Emergency Response Act was developed so that basically public sector, school districts, municipalities, they have this document that's, out there for public to see that, hey, there is potentially asbestos that's being managed in a facility. When we got into this project, knowing we're gonna have some renovations, and one of the first things I asked Dr. Davidson was, hey, do you guys know if you have a HERA report? And this would be for essentially anything constructed prior to like the 70s and before, when they were dealing with a lot of asbestos. So I know this says middle school is really just for I think it's any building for them to come in if there's not an existing HERA management plan in place, they could come in and provide that for us. So it's not, I said middle school because we do have work in the middle school. We also have the entrance at the high school. So it would be kind of as needed if, if we find out it's not needed because there's not a, potential for hazards there, if the previous construction was, say, after 1980.
The middle school's in one place.
Yeah.
Is that old?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, is there also renovation more in the 2000s in the middle school or one of the buildings?
There was.
There was, like all the
Yeah.
stuff, when that was, when they
So-
brought all this on.
Yeah.
because
The
this- we used to
classrooms at
stop.
the entrance.
There was a two-story building back here. that
What
was-
happens a lot
Well,
is
you
the,
had where the classrooms were where the middle school entrances.
Mhm.
Entrances, that was all redone.
Yep.
And then all this
All
had
this-
gone. That's
that-
that's the two additions
two-story,
that were on
yeah.
here. Like where
On the
you're talking
two-story
about over there
building.
I love it.
where the tank and all that stuff is, that's
Yeah.
the old part. That's, yeah, that's been.
so this would essentially kind of bring you up to you know, the current law
Modern
of
times.
having that management plan. And it's a reoccurring, they would come, I think, every 3 years to update if there was any work done in that 3-year time period, so they could update the management plan, just to say, hey, this asbestos has been now taken out of the building, they'll update the plan accordingly. So it kind of, not necessarily bond project related, but it's indirectly related to the bond projects, just because we, you know, potentially be touching some of those areas that are a part of the project.
Okay, so we do need to approve the proposal from Wellington Environmental for this inspection and testing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Adam Carnell, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve the proposal from Wellington Environmental for AHIRA inspection and testing as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay. Have anything else for us?
The only other thing I had on the presentation, this is just to kind of give you a snapshot of where we are with the budget. And this was before any of the motions tonight. I basically took the budgeted amounts we had in that facility maintenance plan, identified them in each individual bid package so that you can see there's 6 bid packages. The first one is just a placeholder, 1.8 million. We do have contingencies across the board, I think at 10%, you know, just to have some safeguard going into any of these projects. And then everything below kind of that top section, which is your construction costs, everything below that in categories B through H are soft costs, so that'll be all your inspections, services, you know, that sort of thing. So it kind of just gives you an idea where we sit based on the $8.5 million bond. We're, you know, sitting pretty good. We're right currently 750, K in the green below budget. So.
And I apologize, I should ask you sooner, just for clarity though, we did budget in 600,000 cushion, so that's included in that 757. So we haven't
Oh.
done 757 less in projects, we've got 157 less.
Right. And as we go through this, like now that we've approved some of this stuff, I'll update this and we'll work with Dr. Davidson and give you those updates, you know, periodically so you can see, and it's obviously it's funds you can use at your discretion. If we get towards a certain part of the bond projects and you're like, wait, we may want to expand some of this scope or look to add some additional scope, we can look at that too. So give you that little extra flexibility.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
Someone had any other questions for me?
Let's get going on these projects.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's exciting.
Now
I
we're-
can't wait.
now we
It's
can
gonna be
actually
so cool
get
and
some stuff rolling.
I'll be in touch with you tomorrow. We'll definitely get stuff kicked off.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For all your work on that.